Yeah.
Ooh!
Shiny Pearl.
Yes, more Citizen Soldier. Which
The
one's
best.
Would anyone care? It's depressing, but it's a good song.
Yeah. It's by a writer who she's a fucking metal artist. She can literally make something as this sound so fucking metal.
Yeah.
She's good at it.
The reason why I like Citizen Soldier is because this is a reference that I don't think lots of people will understand. But something that I really like about Citizen Soldier is that it sends a message in his songs, similar to Sabaton. Have you heard about them?
I have not.
Okay, so Sabaton, they make metal music, which is fucking badass, but every song they make has a history to it. They only make songs about history and they turn it into a metal song.
That's the thing with this guy.
Yeah. So Citizen Soldier is similar, but he does it for emotional reasons. He doesn't make songs out of history events. He makes songs that send a message through like emotional pain.
This explains how much people go through on a daily basis.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah, like me and like you.
The thing I deal with is, don't get me wrong, and I deal with it almost on a daily basis. I deal with the monsters of myself because I keep thinking that I'm not good enough to anybody. But until I have my friend Brady here, he's the only person I can actually talk to and can actually just be myself around.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't like filters, real life filters. There's a difference between filters on media, but just don't have a filter in real life. That's how you meet people. That's how you know who they are. Me and Kevin, we're like weird as fucking funny with it, but there's also like there's moments where we're vulnerable, like we're humans. It's not like there's deal with pain too. Like me and him, I'm not gonna go out of the blend to say that like depression is a small thing. It's a serious thing, but there's ways to work around it. Even if we suffer with it, there are ways to help it, and in this case, it's people.
Me and Brady have been friends for as long as we can remember. Yeah. Ever since we've been in high school, we've been friends constantly. He had his weird quirks and defects and things that he hated or whatever. I had my things that I hated and defects or whatever. We looked past that. We still been friends to this day.
Yeah.
And from what I can remember, we've gotten angry at each other to a point where we almost went physical to hitting each other.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this previously too, but like, I would, even if we did get physical, I would hate myself. Like, arguments is fine, but I would never actually want to hurt him. Even if I'm angry, I can't.
And as much as I really wanted to, one day I literally thought to myself, when I was super angry at you, I wanted to put you 6 feet under.
Yeah, I know, you told me about that, like, I think a day or so after.
But we worked it out. Me and him are friends for, like, years now. We know our limits, we know our angers, we know our trigger points, but that's what makes a man unique. Makes a man and a woman unique.
Yeah, it makes
nobody's perfect. Nobody's the same.
Everybody's unique in their own way. Everybody's humans. We all have feelings.
Everybody says men and women are the same. Everybody says everybody should be the exact same. But in this world, we can't really do that.
Yeah, no.
People have defects. People have pain.
Nobody is the exact same. People can be similar.
Literally. But things that we deal with on a daily basis is kind of hurt. Nope. Let's go this one.
You are enough. Stamp on the ground. Jump, 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 jump. I love this one.
Same here. But like I said, people like, what's his name? The Cajun Soldier? Whatever the fuck his name is?
Citizen Soldier.
Citizen Soldier? He makes his songs because he feels the same pain that everybody feels on a daily basis.
Yeah. Because people nowadays want to just... I'm going to quote something that Nick said at one point about movies, but I'm going to connect it with real life. There are lots of times where people are on social media and all they do is watch some funny videos, become mesmerized, and then go to sleep. Like, people don't realize that there are messages out there on the internet that hold really deep meaning and truth to it, but some people don't even catch on to it. Some people just listen to a song because it's a song. They don't realize that it has a deep meaning.
And here's something. Before I got into high school, I used to be a very energetic, very happy, and I still am, but very, like, all that. When I got to high school, it felt like the world was on me. Well, it was on my shoulders. I felt like that everybody was criticizing me in every way possible. Literally. Pretty much almost once in a lifetime. I literally was I was depressed for a while. Depressed, I'm about to say. Sorry, I can't say anything. It's like, it's because of anxiety! God damn it! But like I said, once in my life I had to deal with, like, depression. Like, I dealt with that. It was, like, constant. I didn't feel like I was good enough for anybody.
And that's why that's what friends are for, because they prove you otherwise. Sometimes worth living is worth living for that one person that you never get tired of being around.
I'm sorry, it's just that when we're talking about depression and shit and listening to very hyper music or whatever,
yeah, no,
my mind has
it's not exactly fitting, is it?
Yeah, it's like mixed fucking emotions where I don't know how if I should feel unhappy or depressed or feel happy and very excited by listening to music. I have no fucking idea. When people are being upset and they say that they're okay, well, not like what I said. What am I saying? Change the subject a little tiny bit. About that.
What was that?
I don't know.
I heard what?
If you know somebody is, like, not okay and they're trying to everything they can to keep everybody from worrying about them, do something good for them. Be there. Just help them out. Instead of just sitting there, just looking at them, going like, dude, stop being that way and go do something.
This is why I say
ask why it's going on. Ask what's happening in their lives.
Yeah.
Be there. Be a friend. Be a person they can talk to instead of just being an asshole and just telling them to just stop being like that. It's not easy. When somebody tells you to stop doing something, it's like you're trying to tell them to, like, I don't know. It's like you're trying to tell them not to, like, live or something like that.
Yeah, well, they're not deliberately saying that. That's how it feels, because they're not taking time to consider what's going on in the other mind. It's not like one of those things where people say, oh, you're just being toxic then, and you're expecting them to read your mind. That's, like, no. That's not what people are asking. That's not what me and Kevin would be asking. It's having an actual friend that will reach out to you and see how you're doing. Like, I feel like a good friend is somebody who talks to you, like, communication. They check on you. They don't just, like, have you in their life and then just stay completely silent until you say something. It should go both ways. Each of you should try to communicate.
That's why and even though people do say this, men and women are different in different ways. Men are different because they want to keep them themselves. Because every time when they try to be themselves around people, the women destroy them by telling them they need to act their age.
Yeah, like, I hate when people say that, act your age. Like what you? So if I'm like 80 years old, you want me to act like fucking crickety and bony and just stay down all day? No, if I was 80, I would still have life in me. I would still do stuff.
Now, if there's somebody hurt, or like somebody's being, like, depressed and shit, and something's happening and they need somebody to talk to, obviously they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just thinking about a lot of things. Don't instantly say that they're actually doing that. They're just saying that so you don't have to worry, and they're trying to say it to get you to go either away from that so that you don't be involved. But in this case, be involved. Try to cheer them up instead of
it's like,
just make them more happy.
Even if it's not your best efforts, if it's not your best efforts, at least the fact that you even put effort at all is good enough. Even if you think it's small, it's still something that helps. It's like that. It's an argument with like donations.
Yeah, a simple, small, little effort of you telling that you're being there, that they're being okay, can make a difference. That could change their lives.
It's
Like, I'll be honest with you. With you, Brady, and now with everybody else. Before I met you guys, I used to be reclusive, which means I didn't want to talk to anybody. The only people that I talked to were my family and my cousins. That was the only people that I talked to. But when I got to school and get inside the school and be in my chair or whatever, that all the hyperness and talking, being social with my family, goes right out the door. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody because I don't know them. I don't want to know them, and also I don't feel like I'm good enough to even be friends with anybody. And
that's what depression does. But then you did meet us.
Yeah, and all you have to do to make them feel good and make them be your friend, and to get them to get you to be their friend or whatever. I don't know how to say it. Just help them out. Just be there for them.
Be there. Sometimes if you're really not that good at being comforting, here's another thing you can try and do: just be in the same room with them, be in a call with them. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes just being there is enough for someone. When you're not there at all, you don't exactly... To a depressed person, not being there ever is the equivalent to them thinking you don't give a fuck about them. And if that's not true to you, then make effort by actively being involved in their life. If you're friends with somebody, your problems are their problems, and their problems are your problems.
Now, in this case, in a different way, on the outside, they look happy and dandy. They just want to be. They are actually happy being like just trying to live their lives or whatever.
Well, I mean, yeah, people have busy lives, but even a simple hello and how are you? Like, how are you? Even doing that is simple and quick. If your life is busy, just do that. At least being there is doing something. If you're able to trust the fact that you're friends with somebody, because that's what friendship comes down to, trust. So if you have friends, then like, it sounds very cliche to say that like friendships like conquers all. It sounds cliche and shit like that.
Yeah, it might be cliche.
It might sound cliche, but it's honestly true though. Like having a friend there for you is like the best feeling you could have, because it's being able to trust another being that isn't you. Like you like the trust that you have somebody there is you proving yourself wrong. You're proving yourself wrong that there is somebody that you can put trust into that really loves you because it's your friend.
Like me and Brady, we've been friends for almost. Let me see if I can put it into words. Since high school. How old are we? I went to high school when I turned 16, and then we moved to there. So I'm gonna probably put this into context.
It was 2017 or 2016 when we met.
2016. I'm going to say 16. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Alexa,
2, 3, 4,
how
5,
long
6,
ago was 2016?
8 years.
7 years.
Fuck you. I was about to say 8, but whatever. So 7 years we've been friends, and
that's a life.
Nothing's
that's considerably a lifetime, by the feels of it, because I've known you for so long. It feels longer than 7 years.
Pretty much, because like time flies by.
Yeah,
and it flies by fast. That's why when elders say, enjoy life as a kid as you can. Because when you get to an adult, life is going to get a hell of a lot harder. Because you have to deal with taxes, transportation, house bills, all the kind of stuff that you have to deal with like your parents have to deal with. Then you have to. That's gonna be all put on you. Then you have to deal with it on your own.
Yeah, and then eventually you get to like go and live on your own, and if you don't feel like being alone, you get a roommate. And then you have to learn how to trust your roommate because you'd be sharing a house with another person you don't know at first.
If you have somebody who you trust than anybody in the world, go to that person. Don't just go to a random person. Tell them your pain. You know this guy could be an asshole, and just go like, suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, it's like
That's life.
if you met a stranger or something like me and Kevin, we play VR chat. If you made friends with somebody and you were friends with them for like a couple days, maybe a week, don't go to them because you don't know them yet. They're still fairly new, and you don't want to know something. I read a documentary recently, and apparently, upon average, from stranger to stranger, people lie within the first 30 seconds of meeting each other. On average.
Huh. I can see why I'm acting this way.
I think
But
it's
there are probably good reasons. There are probably really good reasons why they do it. It's
because they don't know you. They can't give out too much personal information.
you have to lie. They have to make sure that you're a good person, as in a good person, as in you're not like a guy that's just going to use you as a fighting dummy in a way.
Yeah,
Just they're testing right now when they live during the first 30 seconds because they're just trying to test you, seeing what your reactions are.
yeah. That's
If you
normally what the
if you
reason
fail that,
is.
then
Forty
good luck
percent
getting
of the
that.
time, I think.
Yeah, I'd say that somewhere around there.
I
And I
think
do believe when I met you like the first time, I do believe I was like very timid because I had no idea how to talk to people.
no, you were energetic a lot. Like I feel like, but I think when I first met you, was it in when we were dissecting toads?
I think
It was either
I
when we
think
were
so.
dissecting toads or we met in woodworking class. I think.
Well, that reminds me. I have never dissected a frog in a while. But you know what that thing that I really had fun doing? You know how owls regurgitate
Oh
their
yeah, we
prey?
dissected owl turds too. That was another thing we did in high school. For people that don't
It's
understand
actually
how
not
certain
turd
schools
feathers.
work, for people that don't understand how certain schools work, I'm not going to say the name of our school, but in Canada, it's a normal assignment for first year students to dissect things, to learn anatomy when you first get to high school. And the two things are toads and owl droppings.
And apparently, you know those giant like balls of owl droppings? They're not actually shit. It's literally the that undigested stuff that they regurgitate into a ball and spit it out. But all the
So
like
it's a
as in, like
reversed turd.
not really, because the actual shit stuff actually goes out the exit hole.
Well, yeah, because like when it comes out the actual ass, it's like white. I think like similar to
Yeah.
pigeons, but
It's just they can't digest the bones and fur because how else are they gonna eat? Because if they were to keep that inside their stomach, it's not gonna digest and it's not gonna
yeah,
go
we
anywhere.
dissected that. I don't know if that's when I met Kevin. Uh, I'm trying to remember actually, because now it's actually confusing. What class did we first meet up in? Because you never dissected toads. You no you came back you came to high school when I was
No,
in
I
high
definitely
school.
dissected a frog. I definitely dissected a toad. I definitely did because I know what's inside their things. Because I thought they had 3 hearts.
Oh,
That's a squid. Squids have 3 hearts.
really?
Toads only have one. They had the toads only have one, but a really big oxygen like capacity. And also, if I can remember correctly, toads have 3 livers.
Three. How
At
many?
least I think
Wait, how
so.
many does a human have? Two? No, that's kidneys.
Liver, 2. Kidney, 2. Pretty much we only have like 2 of everything that are small. The
Oh.
stomach is one. We only have one stomach, 2 lungs, 1 heart, and there's also a little flat thing that goes in front of our organ, as in like the big giant organ. I don't know what that thing is called, but It helps with
Intestines.
protecting that goes in front of our intestines. But I do believe it helps protect our intestines from like fatal blows, fatal bros.
Fatal bros. That should be fatal. Wait, Kevin. If me and you actually do start a podcast, like when it's not recorded like this, if we start a podcast, me and you, we're calling it Fatal Bros.
Fatal bros. Goddamn.
Fatal Bros. That I don't know why that sounds like the name of a podcast. We have to make that the name if we do one.
If we do.
Because
But
I'm gonna say some behind the scenes shit. Like I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to get this out real quick. Behind the scenes stuff of like MH Entertainment, since we're not uploading a lot, me and Ace Walt, the singer, the guy who was in like technically the first podcast thing we did, we were gonna do an actual podcast, but behind the scenes, he's not quick to respond. He doesn't he notifications don't exist in his land, so he doesn't exactly get the he's not quick to respond because he's either always busy or well just busy or possibly asleep. There's an area in our city where we could drive for like a couple hours, not long at all, and cross like a border, like a bridge. When I do inevitably go to America, when me and Brian go to Orlando, because that's what we're planning to do. We're gonna go to places like Disney World and all that shit. We're gonna go there. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna make so many jokes about the Canadians crossed the border and we're here to say thank you.
thank you for being there. Even though we're Canadians, we're still fucking native.
Yeah, Brian's Native American. I think you're native.
I'm native Canadian.
Native Canadian.
I think there's a little bit of something inside my blood. I don't know what it is because I'm not my mom because I don't know.
Okay, I learned from my mom that I'm like, well, I haven't taken an actual DNA test yet, but because I learned this from my mom about me being like part Scottish, Irish, what's the other one called? Icelandic, from Iceland. Apparently that's in my blood, apparently, and I have something I learned from my mom that I didn't even know of. I have a famous Viking relative in my family tree. I forget his name, but in my family tree, there's a famous Viking dude. He's like part of a Viking culture, so I have Viking blood in me, apparently.
You lucky bastard.
But as I was gonna say, I like to think I'm a lot more Scottish than I am everything else, because I feel like I exhibit traits of a Scottish person a bit too well. I don't know if that's just me thinking it, because I'm not even really that much into Scottish culture. To be honest, I'm not much of a fan of learning anything about Scottish or even going to Scotland. But I feel like if I do take a DNA test from Ancestry.com, I'm gonna be a lot more Scottish. I just feel like it. I don't know what it is. Something tells me I'm a lot more Scottish than Irish and like everything else. I'm probably part French because Canada.
Canada's not French.
No, the two most common languages in Canada are English and French. We've only ever experienced, me and you, we've only ever experienced English speakers because we're in the most English side of Canada.
Hey, do you still have your system, PS4?
I still have it, but I literally never use it. The only time that thing gets used is if Brian / Kai's, for those that don't know our real names, Kai's, whenever he's spending the night at my place, he's like sleeping in the living room, and that's where the PS4 is because I never use it. So it's a combination of Kai's using it, and sometimes my grandmother.
Huh?
Because there's an Xbox One. Go ahead.
Apparently, I'm gonna be getting I was supposed to be getting an Oculus Quest 3 because it was my Christmas gift, but they're all sold out. So they gave me an Oculus Quest 2. So they gave me that, and I'm still getting the Oculus Quest 3 at some point, and I still get to keep that.
And if mine ever breaks for my stupidity, like me trying to salute and smacking my fucking face, could I buy the Quest 2 off you?
Sure, why not?
Yay.
It's probably gonna be very high up in prices because they kind of do really need the money.
I'll give you 30 soda cans and a Chuck E. Cheese coin.
No,
Fuck.
because I do
Life
believe
savings, man.
30 bottles of Coke could probably go up to like $100, maybe more or less.
And then a Chuck E. Cheese coin, which is rare
Goes up.
in of its own, so that's like an extra 50.
Yeah, my dad got that for like, if I can remember correctly,
I remember when I got the Quest
six
2.
to $600 because
It was $600 to $800 for you. Mine was $200.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It was because since they're selling out all over the world, apparently
I think I
they
got it when it was on
cost a lot.
sale or something because this was $200 for me. I'm
Where'd you
pointing
get it
at
from?
it like the fucking camera can see it.
Where'd you get it from?
Amazon.
Oh, you probably got the used one. This one is used, but different. The used.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Hey,
We
did
ha-
you know that there's this? That there's like a little rope on it?
Yeah, mine has that too. It's the same thing.
Nice. Rocking it back and forth like a little bit. Shh.
I was gonna say, we don't normally do sponsors on MH because we don't take this YouTube shit that seriously to the point where we feel like we have to make money off of it, even though there's like passion projects going on behind the scenes. But at the same time, if we ever got sponsored, I feel like it would be Amazon that would sponsor us because everything I buy online does not come from anywhere else. I always buy everything off of Amazon. I've never had any issues with it. The only issue, and I'm gonna say this because maybe they can like change their ways in this, is when things get delivered. They give me a schedule. They email me a schedule on the day that when it's out for delivery, and they're like expect it on this day. It's not always accurate. So sometimes it's sitting out in the lobby of my apartment complex, and somebody could take it because it's just sitting there. It's like just sitting in front of it's either sitting in front of my door, it's sitting in the locked lobby where people from outside can come in and just grab it if it's a homeless person. Or if sometimes they'll put it in the mailbox, sometimes. That's fine because it's a mailbox. But it's when they drop it off. That's when it's sketchy because somebody in my apartment complex could take it. This place is not the safest.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's not safe at all. Like,
You know how many people have
I
died
nearly
here?
left like a. Oh, I didn't look up that, but I nearly left one of my bags at your front door. The next thing I know, it was on the other side of the door.
Yeah, because that was
Somebody
probably
tried to steal it.
somebody either tried stealing it or moved it inside because they thought someone would steal it if it was outside. So it could have been one of two things, but because there's so many fucked up people in my building, probably could have tried to steal it and just didn't do it because they knew they would probably get caught.
Yeah, because there's even though there are cameras, people can actually figure out a way to stay off the cameras and steal it.
They had to
Because I do
update the
believe,
cameras recently.
and that's the reason. Or, you know how cameras have to pan left and right, in order to keep track of both hallways?
Yeah, that's the new ones we have now.
Just imagine just imagine it going very, very slow. Then all they
Yeah,
have to do
they
is
could
go
time
in,
it.
grab the bag, run, and run the fuck out.
They could time it. I didn't actually think of that.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long.